Hello, Year 6. Today is my turn to read a chapter, or I might read two actually, from our book, The London Eye Mystery. I left my copy at school, I know, so I'm having to read it digitally from my Kindle app. So, here we go. Let me just pull it up. Here we go. Chapter 3 The Hurricane Approaches. Ooh. That night, Mum read out Aunt Gloria's letter. I tried to find it so I could quote it word for word, but Mum said it had probably been thrown out because our house is too small to hoard things. I remember it went something like this. Dear Faith, that's my mum. I want to make up. I'm sorry we argued last time I visited. Salem and I are about to move to New York City, where I have been offered a job as an art curator. Please can we come and stay with you for 1 or 2 nights in the half-term holiday on our way to the airport? I know your house is small, but we can squeeze in somehow. Salem says he can sleep on the ironing board. Kat has just told me that this is not Aunt Gloria's style. Aunt Gloria, she says, writes with much more elaborate words. According to Kat, she lets it all hang out. I'm not really sure what this means. Kat wrote down what she remembered of the letter, and this is her version. Darling, dearest Faith, I'm so sorry not to have been in touch more. Life has been horribly hectic, and the years have flown by, like so many swallows fly in the sky. I really regret how we argued last time. It has been eating away at my soul. I can hardly remember now what it was all about, but I was a total mess then. Having just split up with Salem's dad, and not yet having discovered transcendental meditation, I am now much more centered. I have some exciting news. I've been offered a high-powered job as an art curator in New York. Isn't that fabulous? Salem and I have decided to go for it. Salem is 13 now and very grown up. He is not happy at school here. He only has one friend, who's half Asian like him, and the other boys pick on them. So, it's the Big Apple for us, a big exciting adventure in our fascinating voyage through life. Can we drop by your place on the way? Just for a night or two, darling. I know your house is small, but Salem is dead keen to meet his cousins again. He says he can sleep on the ironing board. So the only thing Kat and I both remember is the part where we sleep on the ironing board. After Mum read out the letter, Dad groaned and put his head in his hands. Kat said Auntie Glow sounded insane, and I said that Salem must be tiny if he could expect to sleep on an ironing board. This made Kat, Dad and Mum laugh. My hands shook, and I had a bad feeling go up my esophagus. I'd been caught out again. It was like the time I'd asked why footballers were still being kept as slaves when slavery had been abolished, after a newsreader announced that a Manchester United star had been bought for £12 million by another club. When they all stopped laughing at me, Dad said, did we have to say yes? And Mum said yes, we did. Kat asked where everyone was going to sleep. Mum said that Aunt Gloria must have Kat's room, and Kat said, no way, Mum. Mum said Kat would just have to lump it, and served her right for having skived off school, because a girl who skives isn't entitled to make a fuss about sleeping on the couch for a night or two. Kat folded her arms, and her lips went inside her teeth. What about Salem? I said, eyeing where the ironing board was propped against the kitchen wall. He'll share with you, Ted. We can blow up a lilo. I looked at Kat. I knew from the way her face was that she was angry. I wasn't angry, but I felt a bad pain starting in my stomach. It was the thought of a strange boy coming into my room at night and having to hear him breathe when the lights were off, and him seeing me get changed into my pyjamas and not being able to listen to the shipping forecast late at night like I do when I can't sleep. I said, with my hand flapping. Too right, said Kat. Indeed. You'll probably end up arguing again, Dad said to Mum. He sounded like a weatherman when he was predicting a really bad storm. I have looked in these thesauruses for the right word, and it is gleeful. No, we won't, said Mum, because I won't let it happen. Not this time. I'll just take a deep breath every time she says something annoying, and in my mind's eye, I'll meditate on the shape of a teapot, and, since she'll be doing the same, we'll get along fine. I tried meditating on a teapot in my mind's eye once, but all I saw was hot water spilling from the spout and coming straight at me like a scalding hot tsunami wave, which is how the thought of Aunt Gloria coming and Salem sleeping in my room made me feel. A real hurricane would have been much better,